There's a lot of things that get said in the Bitcoin community. You know, things like Bitcoin is inevitable, have fun staying poor, and many other bombastic and sometimes hilarious comments. Now, of course, every time someone hears one of these, they always wonder, what the hell are these people talking about? Do they actually believe what they're saying? Recently, there's been a bunch of people who have been asking, did Michael Saylor really mean what he said when he said that you should mortgage your home to buy more Bitcoin? But it wasn't just people on the internet. Yesterday, he was on Fox Business, and Charles Payne asked Michael Saylor on live national television, hey, Michael, did you go too far? What exactly were you talking about here? Here's exactly what Michael Saylor's response was.
So you've been seen as this sort of Pied Piper of Bitcoin, and some people are suggesting that maybe you've gone too far, that you've been irresponsible for instance, suggesting people mortgage their homes and businesses. I want to share a soundbite with you in the audience and then get your feelings on that.
And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
So there are people I respect who say you go too far with those kind of proclamations. What do you say?
Well, you know, the critics always cherry pick and they beat up on you at certain times. But if we step back, the Argentine peso lost 99.5% of its value over 20 years. And the only way you could survive is by going into debt and converting into a different currency. That 30-year mortgage, you could get one for 275 basis points a year ago. Right now, it's 580 basis points. So telling someone to take a 30-year mortgage when you could get one for half the current price for the rest of their life isn't bad financial advice. It's a lost opportunity if you didn't get that cheap money. Long-term government subsidized debt's a reasonably good thing. If you step back and look at the big picture from first principles, like Bitcoin's up 52% on average per year for the past 2 years. For the last 5 years, it's a 51% ARR. For the past 10 years, it's 124% ARR. And that's 10x better than NASDAQ over the past 2 years. So, you know, there's no statues to critics. I think that the critics need to give people a solution to their problem. And I think if the inflation rate is higher than the interest rate, you would rather be a debtor than a creditor. And a person's just got to take a long view, look out over the decade and ask themselves, you know, how do I want to be positioned financially? And if you can do that, there are opportunities.
Now, my big takeaway from this is although there's plenty of bombastic things that are said and many headlines that you may read and be like, wow, I didn't expect someone to say that. Usually what occurs is that the people who have spent tons of time researching and doing their homework, who have invested millions, hundreds of millions, sometimes even billions of dollars into this asset, they've actually done the work. They do have very nuanced, thoughtful, and intelligent ideas that support their takeaway claims. Now, of course, that's not always true, and you should do your own research. There is risk in all sorts of different financial assets. But seeing something that catches people's eye, like, hey, you should go mortgage your home to buy Bitcoin, that sounds kind of crazy. But once you hear Michael Saylor actually articulate exactly what he meant and why he thinks that, and then to look back over the last 2 years and explain why it probably was a good idea, then it becomes obvious that sometimes the internet is really, really good at catching all of the crazy stuff on the internet. You see things go viral, you see things taken out of context. But at the end of the day, if you sit down and you have a longer conversation with these individuals, you begin to understand there's a lot more substance than may appear at the surface. Hey you, did you like this video? Great, we make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and see you next time.